on YouTube. Be sure to check out RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com for everything Royal Caribbean related. RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. We are here on board Royal Caribbean's Anthem of the Seas, somewhere in the North Sea, on our way to Norway. Thank you for joining us here. And of course, we're going to start every live broadcast with the most important question: how many days until your next Royal Caribbean cruise? Type your countdown in chat. Let's count down together. Now, I need your help today. For everybody who's in the chat early, the internet connection will drop off at some point. There's this weird bug. I don't know what's going on, but after like 10 or 20 minutes, the internet just disappears. All I have to do is reconnect to the internet, and we're good. So during the stream, there will be periods in which I freeze and the internet goes away. It looks like the stream is dead. It's not dead. It's coming back. So please help me out and let others in the chat know that when it does happen, I will be back in a minute after that. So just talk amongst yourselves for that 30 seconds that it occurs. So just want to throw that out there. But hey, listen, when it works, the internet is great, as you can see right here. And we're here in the solarium on Anthem of the Seas. And tomorrow will be our first stop in Norway. Very excited for that one. It is mighty cold. It is 48 degrees Fahrenheit right now, 9 degrees Celsius. It's a bit chilly, but I'm not complaining. Trust me, I like the cold weather. So very excited for a fun day over there. But we're on a 7-night Norwegian Fjords cruise. We'll have to Southampton, England, and it's day 2, the sea day, and we're visiting a couple different ports in Norway that I can't possibly pronounce accurately. But we're here to answer your Royal Caribbean cruise questions. So please feel free to type your questions in chat. We had some super chats that came in before the stream began. Jim Woodruff. Jim, thank you for the super chat. Jim says, hi, Matt. I don't have a question. Just wanted to express my appreciation for everything you and your team do. Have a great week. Thank you, Jim, for the super chat. Mike Wolf, thank you for the super chat. Boarding Quantum of the Seas right now. Dude, enjoy Quantum. Great ship. Alaska. I'm in Norway, but I'm still jealous of you. And Donna Strine. Donna, thank you for the super chat. Donna says, first cruise in 18 days on Oasis of the Seas. Extremely anxious and excited. Thanks for all the information that you provide. You are very welcome. You're going to love Oasis of the Seas. Be sure to check out Aqua 80s, my favorite Aqua Theater show. And we just had a super chat come in from Ryan. Let's see if I can pull that up on the screen here. Ryan, thank you for the super chat. Just got off my first ever cruise on Harmony. Had the time of my life. I can't thank you enough for all your videos and articles that help me have the best time ever. I can't wait to book more. And my last sentence is the most important thing right there. Book another cruise. Make it happen, man. Keep booking more cruises. Love that. I'm so glad to hear that the information here has helped you out. That is fantastic. Lawrence says, I saw a photo of you and Emma. Great picture of your first in-person meet. Yeah, it was so cool. I was in London for a couple days. Got a chance to meet Emma from Emma Cruises, who is one of my favorite YouTubers in the world. Super nice woman. Really, really cool. Had a nice time getting to know each other in person. We've known each other online for quite a while, but it was really a very, very fun time. Jim Rogers wants to know, any suggestions on how much to bid for a room upgrade, I think you mean? Honestly, Jim, it's a guessing game. Whether or not you get the upgrade or not, whether there's availability and what other people bid is completely unknown. So my advice to you is book the room that you actually want. And for the upgrades, think of it like just, if you got it, that'd be great. But obviously bid whatever, would possibly work. Tom says, check to see if your phone is set using randomized MAC address or device MAC address. Yeah, no, I've checked that. And my phone had that, but my Windows, which I'm on right now, I'm on my computer, does not. But it is still happening on all devices. I have a laptop and I have a phone. And it's really weird, Tom. I've not had this on any other ship. But the internet goes, it looks like it goes away, but it's not actually gone. Like, as soon as I reconnect, bam, it's back on there. So it's very odd, unless there's another setting that I'm missing. But I did turn that off, the private MAC address thing on my iPhone. Thank you. Did you get to Southampton okay? Yes, KB. Actually just posted an article, Kevin, at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com like half an hour ago, detailing how I got there. But I took the train. Very easy. Everything worked well. Thankfully, the strike did not affect me. EJ, did you hear anything about Anthem going to Singapore? I did. I posted about that also today at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Beginning in October 2024, Anthem of the Seas moved to Singapore. So more details or as few details as there are. There'll be more details later this summer, E. Jenkins. But yes, that is confirmed. Kimberly wants to know, where would you go to bid on an upgrade? You'll get usually like a ton of emails, but if nothing else, if you log into your cruise now, Kim, below your cruise, when you get close enough, you have to be close enough to your sailing, you'll see the option over there. Let's see here. I think Tom says you'll just have to go on more Eurocruises to further debug your Wi-Fi issue. That sounds like the reasonable thing to do right there. Brynmore wants to know. Brenner. Think of sailing Icon in May 25. Is booking 2 years out too early? No. There is no such thing as booking too early. I know in airfare, it's very common. People say, oh, don't book too early. Your prices can go down, things of that nature. But actually booking early 2 years and a year in advance is actually advantageous for cruises because you have the possibility. First of all, prices tend to be lowest when cruises first come out, especially ships like Icon, which have such high demand, and prices only go up from there. So, yeah. Ethan wants to know, does the North Star operate on only sea days? No, it operates on both port days and sea days. So the reason why you're only seeing them on sea days is because you can only book the port days while you're actually on board the ship. That's exactly what we had here on Anthem of the Seas on this particular sailing. Let's see here. Dr. Sister Girl. Greetings, we're going on a cruise in July. We're going to Bermuda. Will we need passports? No. I don't know where you're from. Like, are you from the United States? But in that situation, no. If it's a close-the-loop cruise that begins and ends in the U.S. and you're a U.S. citizen, so let's say I'm going to assume you're going out of New York, and it obviously begins and ends in New York, and you are a U.S. citizen, then you don't need a passport. You can sail with a birth certificate and state-issued ID. But I would recommend getting a passport anyway. I think it's to your advantage, quite frankly. Christopher, there's no more COVID protocols for that, so you don't have to worry about that anymore. G. Atchinson. First time Royal Caribbean Disney Platinum cruisers. Kids are used to DCL, Pullman, and Murphy beds. We're booked in a Grand Suite on Voyager. Can we get a rollaway or bring an air mattress to let them sleep separately? You can definitely bring an air mattress. I think it's probably overkill. In terms of a rollaway bed, I'm not sure on that one, quite frankly. But you're in a Grand Suite. The couch almost certainly opens up into a bed. Keep that in mind. That's been the case every time I've ever stayed in an owner's suite. As long as it can handle if it can handle 4 people, if it says that, then there is bed space for 4 people. I mean, granted, some of those beds are couches that can pull out there, but yeah. My Wishing Flower says, can you order off the kids' menu in the main dining room if you're an adult? Yes, I have firsthand experience. I have tried it. Absolutely, yes. Jess, thank you for the super chat. What can and can't onboard credits be used for? Onboard credits can be used for anything that you can charge, once I find it, on your SeaPass account. So anything that you can use. It's not like, Jesse, when you purchase something on board, you don't say, can I please use this towards a certain purchase? It's onboard credit as a credit against your account. So at the end of the cruise, if you spend $100 in purchases and you have $50 onboard credit, then you owe Royal Caribbean $50. Pretty simple like that. So basically anything that hits your SeaPass account can be offset by your onboard credit. Rebelling Scum, what a great name. If it works. Maybe we have our first outage of the day. Let's see. First outage of the day? No. Oh. Pro tip. You got to click for the message to show. 351 days, so we set sail on Ovation of the Seas from Hawaii to Vancouver. Do you know anyone that's done Hawaii Vancouver cruise recommendations? I know actually some friends who just did the opposite. They did from Australia over to Hawaii and whatnot. I don't know any. I would have to ask them. I don't think Jeff is in the chat as an example, but maybe some of our friends are in the chat. They can recommend some things to do in terms of that particular itinerary and any recommendations they may have. Matt Hudd wants to know, do you know if I can leave my 15-year-old on board while my wife and daughter go on an excursion? He has a ticket but may say nope. Happy cruising. Thanks for all your help. Yes, absolutely. They don't check who's left on board the ship. So, yeah, that's totally fine. Am I in the solarium wearing a suit? I am. It's formal night. and I want to look good for you guys. You know, this is the kind of high quality presentation I bring to you. Okay, just trying to bring up the ante here a little bit and keep it real. Plus, the solarium in the evening. It is 8 o'clock over here, local time, so it's a little quieter than usual. Sarah, can you order from the main dining room at the Coastal Kitchen? No, you cannot. They actually changed that policy. It used to be like a YMMV situation, but they've gotten rid of that completely. Let's see. Lior, thank you for the super chat. 15 days till Rhapsody, no question today. Just a big thank you for everything you do and enjoy your cruise. Thank you so much, Lior. That is awesome. You're going to love that itinerary. Let's see here. Next question. Ooh, Cary Grant, the movie star. I'm sure you never got. Oh, Gary Grant. Never mind. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you. Thank you, Gary. I do. Oh, there it is. Gary says, if you're on a 2-week back-to-back cruise, must you get off the ship when the ship returns to port after the first cruise, or can you stay on it for a second cruise? You do get off it, but it's not what you think. Basically, at the end of the first cruise, you'll get a letter in your cabin telling you where to go at the end of cruise number 1. At that point, you'll meet other people who are doing it back-to-back, and Royal Caribbean will escort you off the ship and back on. So you're the last one's off, first one's back on board. So yes, you do technically leave the ship, but I mean, it's pretty darn quick. Kirby, my friend, thank you for the super chat. Heard somewhere you aren't allowed to plug devices into the cabin TV to use it as a display. Is this true? Not that you aren't allowed. Some TVs have the ports blocked. Some TVs can or cannot. It's more that TVs are easier to do that. In fact, Kirby, on there's you stream your content to the TV. So it just depends. Steven says, in Star Class, do you know what the working hours for the Genie are? Don't want to be the person that calls them their downtime. They basically work around your schedule. Now, sometimes if they are sleeping, they may not respond immediately. They don't have their phone like next to their face, and if you text them at 3 a.m., they're going to respond at 3 a.m. But otherwise, they're around. Obviously, this is also a conversation you can have with your Genie once you get on board the ship. But they're pretty flexible. Nikki's taking your first Royal Caribbean cruise and other cruise lines. You can pay incidentals prior to the cruise. Can you do the same on Royal Caribbean? To some extent, yes. It depends what you mean by incidentals, but you can prepay gratuities. You can prepay a drink package, dining packages, spa, things of that nature. It's all done via, Nikki, almost all of it is done via the Cruise Planner website. Gratuities are something you need to do before you sail directly with the cruise line through. If you book through Royal Caribbean, call them Royal Caribbean, or through your travel agent, if that's the case. Russ Crawford, what's going on, Russ? Good to see you here. Welcome. Gary has a very common question we get here all the time. If prepay my gratuities, what does that not cover? Well, anything off the ship, obviously. So porters, with luggage service, anything off the ship, I think that's pretty obvious. On the ship, your gratuities cover your stateroom attendant and your dining room staff. So if you were to go to the bar behind me and order a drink, gratuities still apply over there. If you go to the spa and you get a spa service, gratuities still apply over there. So the prepaid gratuities that you did pay for cover your stateroom attendant and your dining room staff. Beyond that, you're still on the hook for anything else, assuming you did not purchase like a package that includes that as well. Vizzo wants to know, what experiences do you most recommend on Symphony of the Seas? Oh, the shows. The Aqua Theater show, ice skating show, Hairspray, always worth doing. Mr. Ed Vira. Ed, thank you for the super chat, my friend. Will Royal Caribbean still be doing Norway in 25? Don't know. They haven't announced 2025 cruises. I'll have to wait and see on that. It's not. No one knows yet what to expect. I wish I had an answer for you. Carol says, question, are you able to keep your sea pass with you in the pool? Sure. They're waterproof. I'll throw it in the pool now. But yes, they can go in the pool. These are RFID, not even magnetic. Not that it matters, but yes, they can go in the pool. The water does not stop them from working. We're on Anthem of the Seas. Anthem of the Seas heading to Norway. Let's see here. Laura, what are you planning to do in Haggesund tomorrow? What am I doing tomorrow? My phone is. I almost had a heart attack, but I lost my phone. It's in my jacket pocket. What am I doing in Haggison? Let's see. I forgot, because I booked a lot of excursions. I am doing the Acrofjord and Landfoss waterfall. I meet at 7 a.m. I gotta go to sleep, guys. Take a scenic cruise through the Acrofjorden, stopping for photos at the beautiful Landfoss waterfall, followed by a visit to a family-owned farm where homemade lunch is prepared just for you. I believe it is a 7-hour tour. It's gonna be a long day tomorrow, but I'm excited. I can't wait. Very, very excited. Ryan says, I was looking at a future cruise. Let me make sure the internet's still working. Hold on a second. Internet's still working. We're good. I was looking at a future cruise. Deposit was $500. Refundable deposit was an extra $510. How does that make any sense? Why would I pay more to cancel than the deposits where it seems like a waste? Well, here's the thing, Ryan. You're not thinking fourth dimensionally. Because if you book refundable, yeah, you're putting more money down now. But if you cancel before final payment, you get all that money back. If you don't, if you go with non-refundable, Royal Caribbean take a chunk of that back out. That's the difference right there. So it's more upfront, but it does allow more flexibility. Duke City, it's good to see you, my friend. Matt, I need help announcing a new cruise for my wife, Jean. Ian just booked cruise with Jennifer from MEI Travel for February 2025 out of Bayonne. Surprise! Love that, Dukes. That's an awesome cruise. Brittany, thank you for the super chat. When's the best time to go to Alaska? I'm thinking of May next year, but it's another time that's actually best to go. It depends what you mean by best. Certainly May is great for weather and crowds, but it's going to be colder than, say, June or July, which is going to be much warmer, but also much more crowded, and prices will be higher. Also, May is cheaper, so September. September is much rainier, so it kind of depends on what you're looking for in terms of best. Let's see here. Jess, thank you for the super chat. Is it cheaper to purchase a single specialty restaurant meal online before the cruise or during the cruise while on board? It's almost always the same price. Occasionally there's a sale, but when you're talking about one specialty restaurant, it's usually a wash in terms of the actual cost. So only when you get to dining packages do you really start to save money compared to trying to buy those same meals on board. Will you do an update of the drink costs of a Royal Caribbean blog? Absolutely, yes. We try to keep them updated all the time. Good news is the prices don't change all that often, but yes, absolutely. Mr. Chills, are you able to get better deals with your clients? I'm looking for a good travel advisor to get me great deals every year. So this is kind of a misconception, if you will, a little bit. I mean, the answer is yes. Travel agents have the potential to get you a much better deal. Travel agents have access to different discounts. Travel agents have access to special group rates, right? More often than not, quite frankly, the price is the same whether you book through a travel agent or online. But the advantage of having a travel agent beyond maybe them saving you money is the service they provide you. That's really why I use a travel agent. So don't look at it purely from dollars and cents, like where can I get the cheapest cruise? More, you should be really looking at the bigger picture, especially when there's a problem. Boy, is a travel agent helpful. Oops, already clicked on that one. Let's see. Helen, you're doing the same excursion as me. Nice. Well, please say hello on the tour. We're looking for somebody to talk to. Hopefully we'll see you on there. I don't know what time your tour is. Maybe it's a different one. Let's see here. Do you think Southampton will get a replacement ship? Oh, yes, absolutely. I mean, they're not going to ignore the UK market in the summertime. They're not dumb. They know where to make money on that one. Tracy, do all ships come to the U.S. at some point? Probably. As an example, Spectrum of the Seas has never been to the U.S., but more often than not, eventually ships all go around the world some way or another. So the answer is probably. Susan says, can you please talk about setting ship time? Do excursions go by the ship time? Yes. Whatever the ship time is, it's up to the captain whether or not you follow local time or you stick to ship time. Sometimes ship time is the time in which you left wherever your home port was. But when it comes to the tours, yes, they go with whatever the ship is adhering to. Valerie, thank you for the super chat. Sailing on voyage with my 8-year-old and teenagers soon. Will I be able to view specific Adventure Ocean activities on the app. No, they don't show that in the app unless something's drastically changed. The activities that you'll see will be presented once you get to Adventure Ocean. They usually have a rundown of them. There are special activities, I should say, like not like within Adventure Ocean. What I was talking about was within Adventure Ocean. There are special family activities elsewhere on the ship, and those, yes, you can see it via the app. Tom says, since Anthem of the Seas doesn't have the mason jar, what's your favorite restaurant, and why is it Izumi? It's Izumi. I just ate there tonight for dinner, Tom, so I'm putting my money where my mouth is on that one. Let's see here. Oh, Kirby. Hold on, Kirby. What was your question? Kirby wants me to repeat the answer mostly, and I forgot. Oh, are you allowed to plug devices in the TV? It's not. You can plug devices into the TV. It's just a matter of the ship. Some ships, the TV physically can't take connections. So it's not that there isn't a policy or a fleet-wide policy. It's just some of the older ships don't have an ability to plug things in, whereas newer ships do. So it depends on the ship, Kirby. Kevin, if I become a travel agent, will I get better discounts for myself and clients? Potentially, yes. Kind of the answer I gave earlier about why you should use a travel agent. Occasionally, yes, but not always is the case. Why did they get rid of the SkyPad? Don't know. Royal Caribbean didn't say why they did. So you can feel free to speculate, but yeah, don't know. I'm going to drink the water here. Monica just booked a cruise on Navigator of the Seas. Which of your videos should I start with to prepare? I'd recommend the Navigator of the Seas ship tour. We have a full ship tour, Monica. That's a good one to start off with, rather. Gabriel wants to know, do you know why Icon will be coming to Europe? I don't. I suspect Royal Caribbean, being a for-profit company, decided for one reason or another that it made more sense for her to start off in the U.S. I mean, part of it, I think, is that, you know, she's not, Royal Caribbean won't take delivery of the ship until sometime in the fall. That's after the European season. And as to why it won't come over in the summer in 2024, I'm not sure. I suspect they seem to think that they can make more money in the U.S. market for one reason or another. Is Starlink available on all Royal Caribbean cruise ships? Yes, by now they should be on every single ship in the fleet. Scary, thank you for the super chat. Have you heard you visited Icon? Any big updates coming? There are more updates coming. I don't know what the definition of big is. They've revealed most of the things. There are still some things out there that we don't know about. We don't know yet all the dining venues and maybe some other entertainment options that are on board, but definitely some more info to come. If you didn't see it, though, check out our video tour that we did of Icon of the Seas that I posted on Thursday. Knickknack, why doesn't Royal Caribbean allow you to board the ship every day like MSC? MSC is a European cruise line, and in Europe, the protocols are a little bit different than in the U.S., but essentially, and it's kind of weird. Not that it's a bad thing, it's just different, and not the way that Royal Caribbean likes to do it. I am traveling solo. I am indeed. Nuno, when you made a cruise in September, did you catch bad weather? No, actually, yes and no. But last year, when we were on Allure of the Seas, there was a hurricane in the Caribbean, but we were able to go right around it and avoid the path of the storm. So keep in mind, even if there is a hurricane, it doesn't mean you're going anywhere near it. They're not going to put the ship near a hurricane. You're going to go around, away, whatever the case may be. Did it rain? Yeah, but it rains throughout in the Caribbean all the time. But I wasn't an all-day soaker, more of a short-time thing going on right there. Why do I look at you in a business meeting? Dude, I'm dressing up for you, Wu-Tang Life. I want to bring this to a different level of, listen, this is the kind of professional video things that I do here, or something like that. It's also formal night on board the ship, and I thought I might look nice for you guys once in a while instead of wearing a t-shirt. CK is watching live from Wonder of the Seas at Coco Key. Pretty jealous of you. If you want to propose to your girlfriend, I don't know. I'm really not sure Royal Caribbean can do much for you. My advice to you is come up with a plan on your own. Pick a venue, pick a time. Maybe get there a little early and talk to the bartender, or whoever's there. Maybe they can assist, but don't assume they can do anything for you. Quite frankly. Knickknack wants to know, will the new train restaurant be on the second Icon class ship? Not confirmed, but it seems like that's the direction that Royal Caribbean wants to go. Also, is coffee and juice free without a drinks package? Yes. Kirby, thank you again for the super chat. I appreciate that. No more questions for today, so wishing you a wonderful cruise on Anthem. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate you. Very, very kind. Grant, on your ship tour, were you able to meet any naval architects? I think marine architects. I did get a chance. I've met him before, but I don't know how to pronounce his last name. It's Harry Kulavara, I believe. I met him before, and we actually had an article going through some of the comments he made over there. But he's an extremely smart man with a lot of history with Royal Caribbean, and he's he's either the top in charge of new builds or quite near that. So yeah. Jess, any news on the adults only section of Coca Key? Yes, it will be opening in December of this year. Robert, thank you for the super chat, my friend. 4 days till Ovation. Are WoW bands available on this ship? Yes. And how do we get them? Just go to guest services and buy them. Pretty easy to do so. Have I ever won bar trivia? I have, yes. On Royal Caribbean. Once in a while, I get lucky. I think I'm almost caught up. The internet's still working? This is a miracle, guys. I think we'll just keep going. So I'll just keep the live stream going for a couple hours so I can keep the internet going on my computer all the time. Just kidding. Zachary, how do you book the all-access tour? You can book it before your cruise via the Cruise Planner website. So there's a Cruise Planner website you can go to, and you can buy the drink package and other things like that. Anyway, it's over there. Robert, I'll be selling on Allure of the Seas this Sunday. Any tips? If you haven't already, Robert, we have a full Allure of the Seas ship tour here on our YouTube channel. Check that out. I think it's going to be helpful for you to get your bearings and understand where things are. But that's really the name of the game. When you do get on board, Robert, walk around the ship. Explore as much as you can on day one so you understand where things are. I think it's really, really important. Royal Caribbean fan, as a solo cruiser, what do you do with your time to make it fun? I kind of just, chill out. I take it very easy. I take a nap. I took a nap today. It was great. I kind of, I'll go to the venues and sit there as long or as little as I like. For me, when I'm solo on a cruise, when I'm not, obviously I'm doing some work here for Royal Caribbean blog, but aside from that, I really just come at it from the perspective of just relaxing. There's a lot of downtime where I'm just sitting on, I find a comfortable chair somewhere, and people watch, things like that. I find that very enjoyable, quite frankly. I might also be in the casino, once or twice, but not as much as my wife thinks I do when I'm solo on a cruise. Juanita, what are your thoughts on Enchantment of the Seas compared to other ships in the Royal Caribbean line? Certainly it's an older ship, and she doesn't have all the features and whiz-bang amenities that you're going to find on other ships, Juanita. Here's the thing. As long as you're okay with that and you understand what the ship has, what it doesn't have, it's a great ship sailing from some great ports, and really the price is what you're going to be looking at there. So you just have to be crystal clear on what it offers and what it doesn't offer, and if you're okay with all that, then absolutely it's a great ship to go on. Bedazzle, we are on Royal Caribbean's Anthem of the Seas. This is a 7-night Norwegian Fjords cruise. They'll be in Norway tomorrow. Ted wants to know, how is the new menu being received? And cue the comments. Honestly, I think there's positive and there's negative comments out there. I've enjoyed it quite a bit. I've tried the new menu on a number of different ships. I didn't just go on one ship and base my review on that. Been on a number of different Royal Caribbean cruise ships, sampled it on many different nights of the cruise. So I feel I have a pretty good sense of it. Just like the old menu, there were some things that I liked, some things I didn't like. Most of the food is probably in that good to very good phase, right? There's a couple of items maybe that are extremely good and a couple of items that were pretty. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. 3, 2, 1. So the new menu, like I said, there's positive and negative comments about it. Again, I've tried the new menu, and I've tried it on a couple different sailings. I didn't just go on one cruise and base my review on that. I've sampled it on 3 different ships so far. I might even go on this cruise to try it out once or twice. But basically what I found is similar to the old menu. There were some things that were good, some things that were not so good. I think most of the food is somewhere between that good and very good stage. There are a couple items that are excellent, and there's a couple items that were not great. There was some eggplant thing that was absolutely terrible. But overall, I enjoyed my meals there. I think the internet is struggling. I don't think it's the issue that I ran into. This is just the internet being on the struggle bus. I don't think Royal Caribbean wants me to talk about the dining room. I've tried to answer this question 3 times, and every time the internet goes out. Not a coincidence. But we'll move on from there. Next question is from Skyfrog. What are the chances of getting? Thank you for the super chat. What are the chances of getting a last-minute cruise on book cruises? I'm having cruise withdrawal. I mean, you might not get a good price. That's the thing. Last-minute cruises are available, but that doesn't mean you're going to get a steal of a deal. More often than not, you actually end up paying a lot more for them. But they do exist, so keep an eye out. The problem you're running into, Skyfrog, is you're looking at, especially if you want one now, is you're coming up on the start of summer season, and that is popular. So you might not have so many options that are there. Scary, thank you for the super chat. A question asked many times on another Cruise Tubers channel. How many times have you sailed on another cruise line other than Royal Caribbean? I've only sailed on Disney and Norwegian. I've been on Disney 4 times, Norwegian once, and all those were pre-2012. I've not been on another non-Royal Caribbean cruise ship since 2012, but I'm going on Celebrity Apex later this year. Thank you, Scary, for the super chat. Andrew wants to know, is the cost to ride the Juneau Tramway only down Mount Roberts after hiking up the mountain beforehand, plus $50 per person for ride trip? Oh, I see. Like, can you hike one way and take the tram and save money? I don't know, Andrew. I'm sorry. Maybe someone in our chat knows the answer to that. But yeah. The captain has the internet dump button. Dude, I'm telling you, we can't talk about the dining room, I guess, menus. That was no joke. I mean, legit, every time I started talking about it, the internet went down. Let's see here. So yeah, I'm sorry about the tramway question. I'm not sure. I've only ever done the tramway both ways. I've never looked into the other option. Gary wants to know, do transatlantics have rough seas? Not necessarily. I was talking to some of the crew members who did the transatlantic for Anthem last week, and it was really, really smooth. So, yeah. Andrew has our next question. Are there any parts of the ship, particularly Odyssey, that are cold and would necessarily bring a hoodie or sweater? Ooh, some of the theaters tend to be a little chilly. If you ask my wife, definitely. Me, I'm usually comfortable in them, but everybody has different perceptions of what's cold or not. So I would say theaters, since they're more enclosed, tend to be a little chillier. The dining room can also be like that to some extent. But again, I think it's for some people, you know, it's just some people are always warm, some people are always cold, and I feel like that's kind of along those lines. Susan, to find the past cruise compasses, just go to royalcaribbeanblog.com, and then the main menu says Cruise Compass. You're looking for the word Cruise Compass, and that's where it's located. Also, if someone can post the link in the chat for the past cruise compasses, maybe that'll help Susan out also. Maybe give her a little easier click-through, as it were. J. Ruff, we need another cruise help us decide between Oasis and Symphony. I'm going to say Oasis. It'll be a little bit cheaper. I like the shows better on Oasis. Not Cats, but Aqua 80s. So I say Oasis of the Seas. Yeah. What months are the best to sail with Royal Caribbean with the least amount of kids possible? So you don't mind really annoying senior citizens? Because those really get on my nerves. Sorry, I just wanted to trigger everybody with that comment. No, I'm kidding. I love senior citizens, and I love kids too. Probably June. Sorry, not June. January and September. Why? Because school's back in session, and not only is school in session in both January and September, it's also the time of year in which school had just gotten out for vacation, so fewer parents are taking their kids out of school, if that makes sense. Doesn't mean there aren't going to be any. Remember, we saying live, Royal Caribbean has been, and always will be a family cruise line. So, there's going to be kids on board the ship. Also, transatlantic cruises of any time of the year are going to have less kids because it's very long sailing. Juan says, if I have the dining package, can I find a place to eat during lunch while at port? Yes, if it's open. During port times, a lot of specialty restaurants are not open. But if they're open, absolutely. You can use the dining package for that, 100%. Mary Ellen from sunny Connecticut, I am jealous of you. I'm okay being here. I don't want to trade places, but I am jealous that I'm not in Connecticut because I do love me some Connecticut. And Nick Knack has another question. We're going to wrap things up here in a minute, guys. The internet is annoying me more than anything. If I've been to the Caribbean on a cruise, is it worth going again? Oh, yes. No, it has. I mean, there's a lot to do in the Caribbean. It's not just a one-trick pony. If you went to the beach, there are other beaches. There are other historical sites. Lots of cool things to do. So, yeah, there's lots of cool things. Don't limit yourself to that. It's not a one. There's plenty of interesting things and a lot more interesting places to go to. Whether it's San Juan, Puerto Rico, whether it's the ABC Islands, whether it's Cozumel, Corporate Day, Coco Key. There's a lot of cool places in the Caribbean. And if you've done one Caribbean cruise, I don't think it's enough, quite frankly, to say that you've done it all because there's absolutely gorgeous places out there. Thank you, Chantel. I think it was Susan who's asking. Here's the link right there for the cruise compasses. Jamie says, if you are driving to the port, 3 to 4 hour range, would you still go the night before? Probably. More of a. You don't have to. I mean, obviously, the risk you have, of course, Jamie, is, your car breaking down, blown tire, something like that. Unlikely. But I wouldn't categorize it, Jamie, in the same way somebody flying, obviously, because even if your car does break down, you can just rent a car, take a lift. I mean, that'd be a long lift, probably not. Rent a car would be your backup option there. Ed, thank you for the super chat, Ed. I don't have a message from you, Ed, but thank you, my friend. And Hassan, thank you for the super chat. Hope you're well. I was wondering, have you ever been on a cruise on Christmas Day? Yes. And what's your experience? Me and my wife are thinking about doing it next year with my 7-year-old daughter. There's actually a number of activities on board. Basically, if your cruise goes over Christmas Day, there will be special activities on board. You'll be able to meet Santa Claus. There's gift exchanges. There's decorating things, special menus in the main dining room. So, yeah. Jose, thank you for the super chat. Thank you both for your... Oh, here's Ed's comment, I think. I've noticed that on the last few Ovation cruise compasses they don't have any production shows in the main theater. Have they removed them, or are they just not on those weeks? I'm not sure. I suspect the latter, not the former. I'm not aware that they've gotten rid of any shows on Ovation of the Seas, so that'd be my guess. I just realized I've been hunched over here, and I apologize. Bad posture doesn't have any excuses. Ben is going on the first cruise ever on Enchantment. This is an argument of what to do each day after going into port. Go to the pool. Well, a really popular thing to do, since you probably have your bathing suit on already, is just go straight to the pool after you get on board. That's a really good idea. And last question of the day. We'll go with Rachel. Rachel's a good question. If the show say sold out on the app, will there be opportunities to still make reservations on board? Possibly, yes. You have to check. I mean, the answer is no one knows, but there is still the possibility. People cancel all the time, and on top of that, there could sometimes be additional availability. In fact, Rachel, it's not uncommon that sometimes there aren't additional show times that aren't listed in the app to begin with, and they're only available on board. As an example, Rachel, it's not a show, but I'll use this as an example. North Star was only bookable for certain days pre-cruise. Once we got on board the ship, there are more slots available. So that it's not unheard of, in other words. So yeah, definitely keep checking back there. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with me here today. A little abbreviated broadcast, and I apologize for the internet issues. But hey, we made it work. And yeah, I'll be sharing more about my Norway cruise on RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. And next week, believe it or not, I'll be back home, back in the home studio next week. I'll be happy from at least an internet standpoint to be there. Until then, guys, have a great rest of your week, everybody. Stay safe out there, do something fun, and we'll talk to you very soon right here on YouTube. Bye, everybody.